nirvanic layer. It's a very subtle difference. This layer almost doesn't exist. Almost it's an Atman, but the last step. What is the way to explore this last step? What is the way to bring out the energy from this last step? What is the way to penetrate this last step? Totally cutting yourself from the past. No evolution, only revolution. No evolution, only revolution. It is the moment when seed takes the decision to sprout. The seed is sprouting. The last moment, the seed will have agony. It is called dark night of the soul. In Christianity, they call it as a dark night of the soul. The last moment, you take the decision to take the jump. You take the decision to go beyond. You take the decision with all your consciousness, with your whole energy to go beyond the body and mind, to drop all the old conditionings. Yesterday somebody was asking me, Swamiji, is there any method to undo the whole thing? Can you make me again 7 years? This is the method. When you know all your whole things are conditioning, just read once more what you have written. Is the life worth living? Is this the life worth living? Just so much of desires in the out of blue, which has no base, and so much of sufferings, so much of guilt, so much of pain. Only one layer of joy, that also through the pain. Only one layer of joy, that also through the layers of pain. Look at the whole past. Actually, almost for everybody, I can say, the whole 100%, or anybody who says my past is gold, my past is golden. No. For everybody, past is more like a wound, which needs to be operated or thrown out from the being. When you decide consciously to drop the past, you actually can drop the past. Understand the few things. You can really drop the past. It is simply conditioning. When you understand it's a conditioning, can't you drop it? As long as you think it is you can't drop it. When you understand it is somebody else who has been forced on you, can we really drop it? It is simple conditioning. When you desire to drop, when you desire to stop, you can simply verily drop. We are going to drop. Anybody who doesn't want to drop and keep it can decide. No, it is option only. How can I decide for you to whether to drop or not? If anybody really feels like, no, Swamiji, it is perfectly alright, I can carry on, can decide.
So Swami, when you said drop, is it a psychological connection with
Yes.
drop?
Psychological
There's no
connection.
emotion with all that.
And simply psychological, when you psychologically drop, even physically the whole thing changes. It can be simply be dropped. Open confession is called a great technique to cross the nirvanic body, to drop the conditions. Have you heard of the story of Valmiki? Valmiki is a great saint, respected saint. One of the great epics of India is written by him. He is the author and he is a rishi. He underwent this open confession. He has done all sorts of criminal activities and all sorts of sins. At one time, the Narada encountered Valmiki and asked, "What are you doing? Do you know?" Valmiki told, "Oh, I am perfectly alright." Then Narada says, "None of your family people will share your sins. Go and ask." He goes and asks everybody. Nobody is ready to share his sins. Finally, he came and confesses everything to Narada. When he confessed, something has broken in him. Something has transformed his life. Something has touched him. Then Narada initiates him, blesses him. Then the hunter dies and Valmiki is born. I can say at least 20 to 30 masters have been created by this open confession. People who have confessed, they have grown out of the thing. People who have just kept it inside, they lived their own way. Person to whom you confess, in front of whom the confession happens, should be an enlightened man. Then only that energy can go into deeper layers, that suffering layers. If you sit and cry in the house waiting, you will be relieved. No? Because of the Master's presence, the miracles happen. It's like a cooking without the fire, doing in the house. When you speak it out loudly, totally it comes out of your nervous system. Writing is one thing. When you speak out loudly, your whole being undergoes a change. You see, when you write, like this, many understandings descend on you. That is just for those understandings we make you write. You come upon so many new understandings, so many new dimensions. You see, if I would have taught him that these are all self-created, people will think, oh, Swami is making fun of our pains. But when you understand, it becomes a great understanding. So I create a situation in which you can understand. The understanding can happen to you. If I say ready-made solution, what do you think? All right. Anyway, we will come these 2 days, let us listen what he says. But when it happens to you, the understanding, it stays with you permanently. It stays with you totally. It is all self-created. There is no right, no wrong in the existence. Only one thing which makes you totally blissful, not joyful, which makes you blissful, will make always others also blissful. That is what is right, that's all. There is no right, no wrong.
But sometimes, Swami, when it makes us happy, it doesn't.
No, it makes you happy, joyful, not blissful.
Okay.
Whenever it is joyful, it is different. When it is blissful, it will make others also blissful. If it makes you only blissful and others sorrow, then you understand it is a joyful, not blissful. It is only joy, not bliss. There is a subtle difference. Whatever makes you joyful, the path of Ananda, the path of bliss, that only is right. Simply live with bliss. That is the right thing. Feel the deep love, that's all. Feel a deep love in front of the Master, that is enough. Nothing else is needed. Nothing else needs to be done. There is no other code or contact to be conducted. You see, when you have the tears of love, tears of gratitude in your eyes, that is the real thing. That is the real way to conduct yourself in the presence of the Master. Nothing else.
So these mantras that they say, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir.
That's you raised. Those things, you see, when it is done consciously, they have a great result. It again and again and again makes you remember the great truths. Because remembrance is a great thing which is necessary for your life, for your being. When you, yes.
Okay, yesterday you were saying that living master is like that. And Guru
He just kills you. Your whole past is killed. Your whole past is destroyed. That is what I am going to do now. When you are ready, it can simply happen even consciously. Your whole past will be killed. You will be nobody. You will not be the same person as you have entered inside. You see, if you really understand now all these things, whatever is taught and whatever is spoken, will you be the same person when you go back? No. You will never be the same person. You cannot be the same person. So naturally, that is what they call, when you meet the master, you are reborn, Dvija, second born. There are three types of garbha. One is the Mula garbha, Bhugarbha, the garbha which is carried in the womb. Ordinary garbha, you give birth to a kid, you give birth to a child. Next is Hrid garbha, Hridaya garbha. If you carry a great ideology in your heart, you give birth to a book or a painting. Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, Ravi Verma's paintings, they are all from Hrid garbha, Hridaya garbha. If you carry the master's presence or the meditation in the Sahasrara, you give birth to yourself, Jnana garbha. So the master just totally destroys your past, totally makes you drop from the past and makes you start living as a new being. A total disconnection from the past only can help you to grow. No question of evolution, it is only revolution. Evolution can never happen, only revolution can do anything. So just drop from your past, decide totally, consciously drop from your past and simply start living the new way of life. Never tell, oh, I understand everything, I do not know how to put the whole thing into practice. No. Simply throw the old personality, don't respect him. Don't respect the old habits, don't respect the old body, don't respect the old mind, don't respect the old conditionings. Simply decide, this is the way I am going to live tomorrow onwards. This is the way I will live over. A small story, which is a very powerful story. Once there was a rat in a palace of a king. So he wants to kill that rat. One day he called a soldier to kill that rat. When the soldier entered the room, suddenly from somehow that rat jumped on his face. So he lost his balance, got frightened and ran away. Ran out of the room and started shouting the king, no, king, it is too big, it cannot be killed. I don't think the rat can be killed by anybody. I am totally shaken. And seeing the frightened feeling or the shivering shape of the soldier, king got frightened. Oh, this rat is something totally different. I do not know what to do. Then the palace cat was called and ordered, go and kill that rat. But for the palace rat also, the soldier told, you see, don't think it's ordinary rat. I went and totally I was shaken, I have come back. So be careful. Anyhow, the palace cat got ready with all his paraphernalia. After having 2-3 days of exercise and went to the gym, having special diet. So the final day came for the fight. It entered the room. Again the rat jumped on the cat's face and cat totally got frightened and lost its balance and ran away, came out. So now the rat has become a challenge for the whole country. Even the palace cat could not do anything about it. So they announced in the whole country, anybody who kills that rat will be given a special prize. So every cat was brought, but every cat knows that the palace cat itself could not do anything. So 2-3 cats went inside and tried, came out. A village old man had one cat. He said, why not let me tell my cat? He asked the cat, will you do? He said, why not? Well, let us go. He brought the cat. The cat was looking very thin, lean, not even, of course this man had nothing to feed the cat. So he let the cat inside. The cat went, simply killed the rat and came out. The king asked the cat, how did you do? Even palace cat would not do. You are such a, how did you have the courage and all these things? They just pampered the cat and asked, how did you do? The cat said, what? I am a cat. Simply I can catch the rat. Over. I am a cat. It is my nature to kill the rat. Over. So simply you are bothering about the things only makes the thing worse. It is you who boasts the negativity. Decide, you are a cat. You can kill the rat. Nothing. Nothing more than that. Don't bother about old experiences. You always think, no, last time also I tried to stop smoking, but nothing worked. I think this time I do not know, I will be, the same thing only is going to happen, maybe. Don't have all those past things. even that is past. Even the idea, last time I failed, is also a past. Cut from the very root. Drop from the very root. Even the idea that you have failed is nothing but the past. Somebody came and told me, Swamiji, in last 1 year alone, 27 times I stopped smoking. It is just the past. Of course, it is you who give energy to it, not the past has got energy. Past is just dead. It is you who decide. There is a great technique in the Vedanta to cut yourself from the past. It is the ritual done at the time of sannyas. Don't worry, I am not going to give sannyas to you all. But the portion of ritual done at the time of sannyas, at the time of the sannyas, the last layer. See, actually this last layer, cosmic layer, needs a total disconnection from the past. And when you have finished all these 7 layers, the final touch will be given by the Master's grace. Actually, that is what happens. When you put your whole effort, finally Master gives this grace. When you throw everything, the Master will be there to heal the things. When you undergo all these 7 layers, the final touch is by the Master's grace. Now we are going to have only these 2 sessions. Session of cutting down from the past and the Master's grace.
How will we know whether our spouses are satisfied with us?
One thing, ma, when you are totally satisfied, you will not ask for the other. You will not need the other. Of course, you will give your love or the feeling or the being to the other, but you will not crave for the other. Even the other is there or not, you will be totally joyful, ecstatic. When the other is there, you will share your being. When the other is not there, you are perfectly alright. But as long as you feel the necessity for the other, be very clear, neither you are satisfied nor he is satisfied.